It's genuinely not worth it at this point anymore, man. So I don't know what else to say, man. But we might as well, or I might as well say my review of how I think the game went, anyways, man. For what I can say to you lot, anyways, because obviously I've been writing my notes down in real time. I'll change it in a sec. Post match review. Anyways, people, let me share my screen with you lot. Anyways. So I hope you all can see that properly, people. Where's my mouse? That's the timestamps you don't need to worry about. But actually the half timestamps are in the wrong way. So let's delete that. Sorry, folks. Oh. All right, apologies, folks. We can get on now. So that's the second half. Sorry, people. This is some serious technical difficulties. Yeah, we're back now. And I don't know why I've colored them, but there must have been a reason. As you can see, apologies for the spelling errors. But pre-game, obviously, we're looking at how I thought. We're looking at Kolasinac out for Marie and what's going to happen. We're a bit unsure of the formation, how he was going to use Odegaard, Smith Rowe, and Saka. Today, as I said at the start of this live stream, and you can go back, it was all about the level of performance. And we thought we was going to get annihilated, but it was all about how you lost. We didn't lose in almost like we was brave. We was combative. We gave our all. We pushed City to the maximum. Instead, like we all know, self-imploding, crumbled, poor on the transition. Just same old. If you've been following Arsenal for how many years and you've been following Arsenal under Mikel Arteta, it's the same old problems from dead ball scenarios, from set pieces, on the transition, looking over shoulders, basic communication, individual errors, disjointed in all fragments of the club and on the pitch. It's ridiculous. We had a positive first 5 minutes, if you could say that. We started off slightly better, but as you don't know, there's 85 other minutes in the game, and they scored 2 minutes after that. And obviously, that's not how you spell his name, but you lot, again, you can scroll over. You could see Bernardo was picking up the ball in the middle of the park, and from his centre half, from the keeper and Edison in the middle of the park, and it was too easy. And you could see something was going to happen, and it's too easy in the 7th minute. It's too easy from Tini not to do better with Gab Jesus. The man that are supporting Tini is terrible. It's almost 4 Arsenal players against two individuals of Manchester City, and I think it's Grealish at the back post with Gundogan, Odegaard, Chambers, Holding, Cedric, no communication, caught watching the ball. At least for 2 of the goals with Ferran Torres in the second half, they've just got in between players and gambled on no communication from our men, and we've conceded and we go a goal down. Obviously, 2-0 down. Cedric, I don't know what he's doing. He's trying to head it. He's trying to cross it. He's trying to clear it. It's a shambles. Then after that, obviously, again, it's terrible from us. Grealish sets up Gab Jesus, and it's terrible, man. We're far too open on the transition. Apart from the first 3 minutes, we're not offering anything. It's just simply terrible in all versions of the word, people. At halftime, dead ball situations and crosses. Once again, as shown all last season and in preseason and in the preseason games against Chelsea and Spurs. And it followed us in our previous 2 games up until this point against Brentford and Chelsea. Switching on from dead ball scenarios or crosses or throw-ins is still a weakness of ours. Cheap mistakes, ultimately we self-imploded, like we've shown in the last 2 games. Way before we praise the opposition, we have to look at ourselves. And to be fair, we should have nothing but comments to say about Manchester City, considering they've won 5-0. But instead, we're talking about Arsenal. We don't have a right back, people. Always, this is mainly an Arteta fault. He's always talking about, I got different right backs at different options. What the hell are these guys in defense for? We don't respect the art of defending. We don't respect clean sheets. I can see Aubameyang getting upset because he's running for no reason. I felt sorry for Leno because I feel Leno was all right today. He could have done better for some of the goals. I actually think he saved us a couple of times. I think his distribution, he was forced to kick it long because nobody's showing people. You cannot afford to be disjointed, especially from counter attacks in the game against City. I think we're cowards. We're forcing Leno to go long. As I said, Arteta's tactics or lack of tactics are also an issue. It's a silly tackle from Xhaka to make things worse. He's given the ref a decision to make. I don't think it's a red card, but you don't do it. It's not a thing. I don't want to talk about the ref. I don't understand VAR not involved with Chambers. I don't understand how Kolasinac got a yellow and someone else didn't for several other things, but I don't care about that because away from all of that, we didn't do enough. our foundations tactically and the players we're trying to implement to do our things found in terms of foundation is terrible. There's no, this is all my halftime thoughts. There's no leadership. There's no direction. We're fractured. We're shambles in all meaning of the word. Nothing I've not seen before. You know, we've had no attempts and we've had one shot, you know, and Smith Rowe pressing Edison is probably the best opportunity. And Saka half looking for a foul or a penalty at one point, if I remember correctly. You know, they didn't have to be at their best. City didn't need to be at their best. I don't understand why Lokonga's not there. And as I said, before Bernardo got his assist and stuff, he gave us warning signs. We didn't heed it. Second half, they started strong. I think the first 10 in particular was a problem. There was a couple of times we was just hanging on, and you could see the boys were nervous because they were praising each other for doing well, but ultimately the floodgates open. Again, we're chasing shadows for the fourth goal. Again, people not communicating and picking up men. This time, Leno and Kolasinac. I did think, although it's a good goal from, pardon me, from Rodri, and he sees it late, I did think Leno could have done better. The fifth, once again, Holding and Chambers not deciding who's picking up the man, not looking over their shoulder. Once again, a team that just defends poor anyways, with a lot of bad habits and ultimately bad attitudes towards defending. We look like young animals in the wild where prey is just stalking them, ready to get involved. Haven't seen a more one-sided half in a while. You know, we couldn't get out of our half, and when we did, there was no one to support Tierney, Smith Rowe, or Lacazette. Their centre backs are trying to score, much like how Rudiger's trying to assist people with the outside of his boot. You know, again, even if we go back to the first goal, like I said, there was four of them, four of us against two City lads. It's terrible, man. You know, I don't want to hide behind the red, the Chambers foul, or the fact that they're Premier League champions, which I know Arteta is going to look about. Ending thoughts, what can I say? No goals, no clean sheets, no wins, minus goal difference of ninth. These are sackable offences. Arteta survived when really, if it wasn't a situation as delicate as Arsenal's last season and it wasn't the propaganda machine that is Arteta, he would have been sacked. People have been sacked for less. So if he survived that, there's no way he can continue to survive this. And I don't think he's even going to get sacked in this game. But you'd imagine your next loss, that sealed your fate, you know. We all said as fans, it's how you lose. There was no fight. There was a lot of bark and no bite. You know, I love Tierney, but he was terrible today. I feel like everyone, we took off our captain when we're needing stuff. You know, Xhaka was terrible, but that's a man you betted on. Cowardly individuals, cowardly performance, and cowardly tactics to match. VAR, don't know what's wrong with it. The club needs to refund away fans for me. You know, their centre-backs and their full-backs are trying to score. Cancelo just tried to be Dani Alves in the second half. What can I say, people? You watch the game. Ultimately, that's what I feel happened, folks. So, yeah, man, we got dealt with. He got dealt with. There's nothing more I can say about that. They dealt with us. But on that, I might as well quickly do the player ratings as well, man. It's absolute shambles, man. Absolute.